Today I want to give you a full practice method to master quite a few Bill Evans voicings and make them your own. All the voicings that we'll learn today come from 8 measures of his version of The Two Lonely People. Now, if you want to play like this, you need to be willing to work at it. There are so many concepts that Bill Evans was using in his playing that it's just not good enough to learn these voicings by memory. Don't get me wrong, it is useful to practice by reading the sheet music and learning these voicings exactly as they are, but if you just did that, you'd be missing so much, and you'd never be able to come up with variations of the same progression. If you practice the right way, you'll be able to play this same progression like this. Or this. And we're using all the same Bill Evans techniques that I'll show you today. The first thing I want you to do is to create a chart like this one. Let me show you how and why this is going to be incredibly useful. You don't need to worry about the harmonic functions or today's voicings. This section is in A major, so every chord plays a specific harmonic function. But the practice voicings, you don't necessarily need to know the harmonic function for each chord. Instead, I want you to focus on just 2 things: the type of chord, including any tensions, and the harmonic movement between the chords. Let's start with the harmonic movement. So from B minor 7 to C sharp 7 altered, we move up a whole step. C sharp 7 resolves as expected to F sharp minor 7. So I'll add an arrow here. F sharp minor 7 to A7 moves up by a minor third. A7 resolves to D major 7. D major 7 to G sharp altered are a tritone away, up or down, it doesn't matter. G sharp 7 altered resolves to C sharp minor 7, which is the related 2 of F sharp 7 flat 9, which resolves back to the B minor 7 at the beginning. All right, now let's add the chord types, and next to it, I want to add crucial tensions from the chord scales for each chord. So B minor 7 is a minor 7 chord. When you look at Bill Evans' version of this measure, you can see that this is a Dorian chord with the natural 9. So I'll write a 9 right here to remember that this B minor 7 is Dorian. We don't need to write the 13th, but you can do that if you'd like. For C sharp 7 altered, there's an E and an A, the sharp 9 and the flat 13. This E flat is an approach tone to E natural. F sharp minor 7 is actually an Aeolian chord. Look at the D natural here. This is the flat 6 from Aeolian. So I'll write a flat 6 in parentheses to remember not to play the natural 6. A7 is a flat 9 and a natural 13. All right, so now we can use this chart to play from. We choose a starting chord, and then we figure out the rest by looking at the harmonic moves. Eventually, you'll be able to do this without any chord symbols, but let's start by filling them in first. We'll pick our starting chord, let's say D minor, and see what unfolds. So, a whole step up from D minor 7 puts us on an E7 altered. And this arrow here is telling me that this resolves down a fifth to the expected target, A minor 7. Up a minor third from there gives us a C 7 flat 9, which then resolves to F major 7. Up a tritone gives us B7 sharp 5 that resolves to E minor 7, which is the related 2 chord of our last chord, A7 flat 9. When playing this for the first time, we're not going to focus too much on the exact voicings. But let me lay out some rules that might help us get there. For now, we'll just play shell voicings on the left hand, any combination of root and guide tones like 1-7, 3-7, 1-3-7, 1-3, whatever. Just focus on the roots and the guide tones on your left hand. For the right hand, focus on the tensions. So for D minor 7, we could play D, F, and C on the left hand, and E, the ninth, on the right hand. For this E7, we'll go with E, G sharp, and D on the left hand. And what are the tensions? Well, our sharp 9 is G and the flat 13 is C. Exploring the rest of the progression with this approach should give you something that sounds like this. One thing to notice in Bill Evans' left-hand comping is that from measures 4 through 8, he's breaking the 3-note voicings into the upper 2 notes and the root of the chord and just playing quarter notes like this. Now, if you want to learn the exact voicings that Bill Evans is using here, it's important to know the target notes contained within the melody. This is because he is voicing all of the chords underneath these target notes. Let's take a look at our voicings from this perspective. With our first chord, our target note is the root. Then the sharp 9, the 5th, the natural 13, the root again, and then the 9 that turns into the 13 of the following dominant chord. Now, if we combine the constraints of this melody-centric approach with the constraints of our first step, we'll have everything that we need to capture that Bill Evans sound. So now, even without remembering his exact voicings, by remembering these rules and constraints, you'll always sound good and in the Bill Evans style. In the PDF, we've included all of the exact Bill Evans voicings in all keys. If you're a member, you'll find the PDF in the membership tab. You can join right here on YouTube, and if you don't want to become a member just yet, remember that you can always get any of our PDFs for our videos using the link provided down below.